Snapchat and rumbling fuck, shake your tits and swing your dicks. Well, it's Black Friday, and I hope it was a delightful one to kick your weekend off proper. Here's another gobbling and wobbling episode of your favorite internet sensation with Libation Friday wrap-up. Before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to tonight's libation. This is a delightful little holiday cocktail. I call this my bourbon cider punch. It is a Tommy original. Might have had this on the show in the past, but nothing wrong with a little refresher. So real simple to make. Shot and a half of your, a shot of your favorite bourbon. I'm using a little Four Roses single barrel here. A half a shot of Applejack, apple brandy. You could use a regular brandy if you like, but Applejack is the preferred method to go here. You put a drizzle of cinnamon simple syrup. Now, cinnamon simple syrup, very simple to make. Hence the term, simple syrup. 1 cup each of sugar and water. A couple of cinnamon sticks. You put them in a sauce pot. Bring it up to temperature. Let the sugar dissolve into the water. Keep stirring it. Turn off the heat. Let it steep about 15-20 minutes. Boom, you got cinnamon simple syrup. Put it in a squeeze bottle. Stash it in the fridge. The longer it sets, the better it gets. So there you go. So, again, shot of bourbon. Half a shot of Applejack. A drizzle of simple syrup. You fill the rest up with apple cider. Give it a good stir. And there you go. Azalud to drink up and be somebody. This is so good. It's dangerous. Now, I got some strong fucking bourbon in there. You don't taste it. So you have a couple of these and you're feeling nice. Now, the only word of caution I'm going to give you is apple cider has a lot of fiber in it. You drink enough of it, I don't need to tell you what happens, okay? It cleans out all that Thanksgiving dinner, all right? But it's a delightful little cocktail to have around on the holidays, so knock yourselves out, kids. Okay, what a fucking week. You know, it was a short week, but it felt like a long week. It was just hectic as all hell. Like, I feel like Monday was a month ago. I hate holiday weeks for this reason. Deadlines and what have you, it's just a pain in the ass. So anyway, Thursday was Thanksgiving. Of course, that went, I don't know how your Thanksgiving goes. Mine are very quiet. It's just me. I cooked. I made a delightful little turkey dinner. And that's it. And watched some football, watched some TV, and started Christmasing the house. I don't understand people who don't like turkey. Like, I love turkey. I mean, granted, there are people who don't know how to fucking make a turkey, and it's a relatively simple thing to do. Get yourself a fucking thermometer, cook that bird to about 156, 157 degrees, take it out, tent it, let it sit on the stove 15, 20 minutes, half hour. It's going to come up to 160. Then you slice it. And it should be perfect and beautiful and nice and moist. Even if you don't do all the crazy shit that people do to it, like brining it or, sticking it full, injecting it full of things and stuff like that. Great that it does enhance it if you know what you're doing. But if you keep it real simple, and all you do is just use a thermometer and just have some a lot of people, they cook the bird to an internal temperature of 160. Not good. You want to cook it just under because it's going to come up, carry over cooking, and then they slice it right away, and it dries the fuck out. That's just not how you do a bird. People overcomplicate a simple thing. So I don't get people who don't like turkey. Chicken, I understand. Chickens are dirty fucking animals. They eat their own shit. Okay? I'm not a big fan of chicken. I mean, I'll eat it sometimes. Like if I need protein and I just want something lean, I'll go towards chicken. But I prefer like chicken thighs if I'm gonna eat chicken. I eat more of it now than I used to. Granted, I love a good chicken cutlet. But that's different. Anything you fucking breading and frying, But turkey, I don't get. I think it's a delicious bird. Anyhow, like I said, Thanksgiving's here and gone. The Christmas decor has begun over here at the compound, so this will be the last show in the office for the month of December. Next week, we'll be in fucking North Pole West over here. So there you go. And that's it, man. So hang on and get ready for the best deal you're going to get on this Black Friday. This one's going to be short but definitely sweet. So hang on to something, kids. Okay, get your tickets out. We're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express of the mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. But, woo-hoo! First stop, New York City. So, yesterday was the 99th anniversary of the Macy's Day Parade. Now, I have a lot of fond memories of the Macy's Day Parade. When I was a kid, we used to go every year. My uncle would take us, me and my cousins and everything. It was cool. We looked forward to that. It froze your fucking balls off. But it was cool. I went a few times as an adult. Still froze my fucking balls off. It was still cool. I hate watching it on TV, though. Because on TV, like, you don't see the actual parade. You see a lot of cutaways, and it's always to the fucking, ABC morning crew with Al Roker. And Al Roker looks like the fucking poop emoji, okay? He's awful. Why this man is still alive, I don't understand, okay? He looked horrible fat. He looked horrible after the gastric bypass. He looks even worse after the gastric bypass, which was 100 years ago. It accentuates the fact that he has a big fucking head. He looks just like the poop emoji. I've said this before. I've even put side-by-sides up. He looks like the poop emoji. And he's always on it, and he's just aggravated. The minute I see him, I get fucking violent. So I try not to watch it. What I do like to see is I always like to hop in right at the end. I like to see the Santa Claus coming down. I don't know why. It's just like I said, when it brings you back to when you were a kid. Like that was like the official start of the holiday season. You see Santa Claus coming down to fucking Macy's Day Parade. Now, when I was a kid, they had this weird-looking sled. It was like a swan. It had these big wings, which I thought was gay. But, now they've gone traditional with the regular sled and everything. But this year, again, all this woke bullshit, like, stop it already. Like, just fucking stop. Okay? Not everything has to be... It's okay if Mrs. Claus is a white woman. This year they had the Santa Claus. He's on the thing, and then they got cut on the side. There's a Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus this year was a fucking Chinese woman. When the fuck did Mrs. Claus become Chinese? Just ruins Christmas for everybody. Every kid knows Mrs. Claus, nice little old white lady. All of a sudden now Santa Claus got a fucking Oriental pride. What do you do? Go to fucking Vietnam? Holy fucking shit. Did the North Pole become communist? Are all the fucking toys made in China now, not the elves? You understand what you fucking gonna do to children that are watching this shit? Just stop it. Next year they're gonna have a fucking black Santa Claus. I guarantee you. Guaranteed. And that should terrify children. Even little black kids in the hood. They don't want to see a black Santa Claus. They just figured their mamas would get pregnant and the TV would be gone. Just annoying. Speaking of crazy, next stop, Chicago. So the city went fucking crazy again. Oh, God. So, this fucking animal, this 72-time fucking felon, okay? He was black. I'll say a black man who was arrested for 72 different violent crimes and let out of fucking jail, okay? Some fucking pavement ape. And he's wearing an ankle monitor, mind you, right? He should not be. He gets on the fucking L train and sets this pretty white girl on fire. Imagine just get through some kind of accelerant out of fucking lit her up and goes, burn, bitch, burn. Again, this is black man. Yeah, he was black. I'll fucking say it. Black. That's what they do. They're fucking animals, okay? 1 out of 10 is fucking regular. The other 9 belong in a fucking cage. All right? Or back in the fucking jungle. I'll say it ain't racist. It's a fact. Okay? Lights this pretty white girl on fire. 72 times he was arrested on violent crimes and let him out. And they put an ankle monitor on him. The fucking monitor's going off. Nobody's stopping this fucking guy. Lights this pretty little white girl on fire right for the holidays. So, she's now crispy. They're nice. Well, elsewhere in Chicago, a bunch of fucking black teens shoot up a Christmas tree lighting on the Magnificent Mile. I can't wait for the fucking mayor to tell me again how safe Chicago is, okay? And you know what? The reason I'm bringing this up, aside from the fact that it's utterly insane, is that this is a sneak peek as to what New York is going to turn into in about another couple of months. Just saying, okay? Because the mayor of Chicago was like, you know, 3/4 socialist. Mondami is fucking 1,000% communist socialist. This is what, you know, no racism in the police department looks like. Yeah. Okay, all the people that are committing violent crimes happen to be the same fucking color. That ain't racist. It ain't a coincidence. It's a genetic fucking problem. Okay? Arrest them, convict them, lock them up, give them the fucking chair, beat their heads in with a fucking sledgehammer. I don't give a fuck, but that's the fucking society you're creating, okay? Poor girl, mind her own business on a fucking train, this fucking animal. I mean, he looked like a crazy mullion too. Just gets on and just fucking lights her on fire. Beautiful, right? Beautiful city like Chicago's gonna go to the fucking dogs because of these animals. Last stop, Washington, D.C. You know, lately it just seems to be the same three cities. You understand? Okay, so D.C. Some Afghani migrant, okay, who shot 2 National Guardsmen the other day. So, they killed one of them, poor girl, and he left the other one in critical condition. Now, this guy was a migrant. He came over during through the fucking unchecked borders during the fucking Biden administration. He was a terrorist from Afghanistan, so, I mean, all these fucking guys scattered as soon as the United States pulled out. Good job, Joe. So he's here illegally. He's living in a fucking government-subsidized $2,000 a month apartment somewhere in, like, I think Washington State. And he purposely traveled to D.C. to kill a national, not necessarily these two in particular, but just any kind of National Guardsman for whatever the fucking reason, okay? Now, the libtards, because they're fucking brain dead, are blaming Trump for the death of, for the shooting. Saying, well, they shouldn't have been, the National Guard shouldn't have been deployed. No, fucksticks. The National Guard was deployed in D.C. because D.C. was just under siege from criminal activity. Because of, again, all the woke fucking law enforcement policies. All right? D.C. was a shithole. National Guard cleaned it up. Their presence keeps the crime at bay. That's not illegal. They were saying, oh, well, Trump illegally put the National Guard there. No, he didn't. He's the fucking president. He can deploy the National Guard. Okay? And because Washington, D.C. is not a state, he's got control over the state like a governor would. So they're perfectly fine right where they are. It's a perfectly legal and lawful thing to do. And not to mention, it's in the best interest of the citizens of Washington, D.C. Here's the problem. This fucking animal was let in here unvetted, unchecked, illegally, traveled all the way to Washington, D.C. to commit murder, and got away with it. Well, he didn't get away with it. They caught him. He was shot too. He's in the hospital. I hope he fucking lives. I hope he lives so that they can fucking publicly execute him. Here's how you stop this type of behavior. You publicly execute this motherfucker. I'm not talking about swabbing his arm with some alcohol and giving him a lethal injection. I'm not talking about putting a hood over his head and putting him in the electric chair. No, I'm talking about making it medieval, gruesome, brutal. You have 15 fucking service guys, Marines, Army, pick one from every fucking department of every branch of service and have them savagely beat this fucking guy with ball peen hammers. But before they do, you give him so much fucking cocaine that he's vibrating because you want that adrenaline coursing through his body as they're beating him with fucking hammers so he doesn't die right away. And then after they crack his fucking skull open and he's bleeding internally, but the blood keeps pumping because he's all charged up on fucking coke, let him die a slow and painful fucking death and make it public. Yeah, all the libtards will be fucking picketing. Oh my God, this is inhumane. You know what? Shoot those motherfuckers with rubber bullets. Take out the flamethrowers. You see how fast they fucking stop. You make this motherfucker publicly executed, you see how fast all of this bullshit stops. Okay? It's about time we fight fire with fire. Let's get a little fucking medieval on these terrorist motherfuckers. They want to see terror? Let's show them some real terror. Let's show them terror. That's real fucking terror. Cocksuckers. And then the libs blaming Trump. The National Guard is not, you're not press ganged into the National Guard. All right? It's volunteer. It's the military. And these two particular guardsmen volunteered for D.C. duty. Okay? They want to serve their country. They want to protect the city. So to say that it's Trump's fault negates the fact that these people willingly gave their life to the service of their country. It's just despicable. These liberals have no fucking brains. Like my grandfather always used to say, no sense, no feeling. They're just fucking brain dead. Just brain dead. Insane. Okay, kids, your sports update. NFL, well, the fucking Giants dropped another double-digit lead in the fourth quarter last week against the Lions. Wow, this is the fifth fucking time. Okay? And as a result, they fired the defensive coordinator. Wow, really? It took 5 times to drop a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter before they realized the defense sucks? Come on. Okay? They're currently 2-10. And as a result of their stellar record, they were the first team to be completely eliminated from the fucking playoffs. Okay? Fucking magical. Just magical. So this week, Giants and Pats are on Monday Night Football at 8:15. And normally, I love Monday Night Football. I have a particular spot I like to go watch it. I was looking forward to the Giants being on Monday Night Football. Now I don't. Even if they win, I don't give a fuck. It took the fucking wind out of my sails. Jets and Falcons Sunday at 1. Bills and Steelers Sunday at 4:25. And Saints and Dolphins Sunday at 1 o'clock. NHL. Rangers played the Bruins today at 1 o'clock and won 6-2. They play the Lightning Saturday at 2 o'clock. Islanders and Flyers played today at 4 o'clock, and they lost 4-3. They play the Capitals Sunday at 1. NBA, Knicks and Bucks tonight at 7:30. Nets and Sixers tonight at 7:30. And Bulls and Hornets tonight at 7:30. 7:30 seems to be a popular time for basketball today. Tommy's Pub and Grub Review. Okay. Well, I haven't been to too many places, but I got a lot of places to talk about. So unless you were living under a fucking rock last week, you saw the big fire that happened in Franklin Square at 529 Bagels and Ralph's. I'm sure you've seen the video 1,000 times. I've seen a few videos, but apparently the fire started in the bagel store. And you see, I told you this fucking bagel store was fucking aggravating, okay? So, first of all, they just sold the place like 2 months ago to new owners. So, I'm going to say this right now. This was definitely fucking Jewish lightning. Without a doubt. Had to be. I'll tell you why. Okay? That building's been updated relatively recently. I mean, everything's been updated within the last 10 years. Everything was brought up to code, wiring, electric, all that shit. So, new owners take this place over maybe 2 months ago. They must have realized they bought a piece of shit. Okay? Because, the fucking place closes. It closes at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. You want to get a late lunch? You can't get a sandwich after noon. So, you're a deli. You're a bagel shop and a deli. What the fuck you closing so early for? Okay? So, they must have realized they bought a piece of shit. Place runs out of fucking everything. Bagels on, at 9 o'clock on fucking Father's Day. Not a well-run business here. So, they figured, well, let's talk and torch the place. I'll tell you why I know this is an inside shop. First of all, I've seen insurance fraud. I can spot it 1,000 miles away. It's what I do for a living. Okay, not commit fraud, but I know insurance fraud when I see it. So the place closes at 1 o'clock, even 2. The fire happened at around. I was eating dinner. About 6:30, something like that. So it couldn't have been somebody leaving a fryer later on or some kind of equipment on because it would have happened before 6 o'clock. So from 2, it would have happened between 2 and 3, 2 and 4. Okay, the latest. Not at 6 o'clock. So it's not equipment failure. You can't say it's an electrical fire if the place has been there 10 years with no fucking no problems whatsoever. So whatever this was an inside job, and I feel bad. I actually feel bad for Ralph's Italian Ices because the fucking fire was so out of control. It took them hours to put this out. So that also tells me it wasn't an electrical fire. There was an accelerant involved here, okay? Because the way the flames just exploded, everything, there was definitely an accelerant involved. Without a doubt, an insurance job. If the Nassau County Police Department hasn't made an arrest yet, these detectives got their fucking heads up their ass. All right? Just say it. So I feel bad for Ralph's because that fucking the lemon ice place was completely destroyed. So the whole building is just destroyed. So it has to be knocked down and rebuilt. Now, they don't own it. Ralph's don't own it. The bagel shop don't own it. They're tenants. So, here's what's going to happen. Now, Ralph's is a seasonal business. So at the time that this happened, it closed. So they can't put in for business income loss. If they have the right kind of insurance policy, they may have extra expense coverage, if they got to advertise that they're moving or looking around somewhere else in the neighborhood. But they're never going to reopen in that location. I'll tell you why. By the time the cops are done investigating it, cops and fire department, by the time the insurance company's done investigating it, by the time the claims are settled and the construction's greenlit, we're looking at probably late February, March. Ralph's usually opens in March. So the only thing that they could do is put in a claim for any lost equipment. And, if they want to reopen somewhere like in the neighborhood, because here's where they have their following. There's a couple of places that they can go. It's not going to be a walk-up joint. It'll probably be like a store where you can go in. So their extra expense could cover, advertising and saying, okay, this Ralph's been moved across the street over here behind Valley, or we're up the block by Holiday Farms, and, some kind of nonsense like that. But outside of that, they're the ones that really got fucked. The bagel store, someone should go to jail. The landlord, on the other hand, I'm sure he's insured. It sucks, he's going to lose rent, but he'll end up with a new building. So, and the bagel store cashes out unless someone goes to jail. Like I said, inside job, no question about it. I'm surprised that the Funk Dentist office next door didn't go up too. Long Island Bagel Cafe, right in the Holiday Farm Shopping Center, should be opening soon. I mentioned this place before. They have multiple locations. Pretty much a franchise. I mean, they have one in Boca. They got another one in Scarsdale. So, I know I've seen them around like Wantor and Belmore. I'm pretty sure I've been in there before. I don't know if it was good, bad, or whatever. I don't know if they make all the bagels on premises in each location, or if they have a main bakery that delivers. I don't know exactly how that goes. I would think they bake them on premises. I mean, the one that they're opening over here is pretty fucking big, so I could see them putting a bakery back there, so we'll see what happens. But they're authentic. They're definitely Jew-owned. I know that for a fact. And I know that because the way they advertise their product, they advertise appetizing. Now, appetizing, when you see this, and you'll see like Zaros used to do this, like all authentic Jewish bagelries, or even delis, kosher delis will advertise appetizing. Now, appetizing is like Jewish on the bust. For them, it's the lox, the whitefish, smoked sturgeon, a whitefish salad, tuna salad, all that shit. Which I like smoked whitefish. I do. Okay? So that's how you know it's authentic. Like I said, whether they make the bagels on premises or not, I don't know. Are they going to beat out every A&S? I doubt it. But again, that leads me to all the more reason why this 529 bagels, to me, I think, torched their place on purpose, because it probably would just, whoever sold it to them was probably cooking the books. They realized they bought, an albatross. And then they're sandwiched in between two of the top bagel shops, on Long Island. You got this fucking place opening up. They ain't going to compete with, they can't compete with A&S. They definitely can't compete with Long Island Bagel Cafe. So they figured, fuck it, let's torch the joint. Anyway, another stupid fucking business. Celtic Crossing in Kings Park is a bar, and it was closed for underage drinking. Apparently, the cops raided it for overcrowding and found 200 underage patrons in the place. The owner of the bar blamed the ID scanner and said that all these kids had really good fake IDs. First of all of that is bullshit. I know that for a fact because, again, I do this for a living. I do liquor training for bars, okay? The ID scanner don't do shit other than fucking photograph the goddamn driver's license and then enter the information, like the name and address, into a database so they can send mailers out. That's all that does. That means the staff is not trained properly. You get a fake ID, and even if it looks good, and you're looking at the kid, and the kid looks like they're 16, you're supposed to know how to ask questions, okay? So, Yeah, maybe one or two kids look a little older than they are, but the rest of them, if they look like kids, they look like kids. Okay. So the fact that there was 200 of them in there, they knew exactly what they were doing. They were letting underage kids drinking. This place not only should be shut down, their liquor license should be pulled, and the fucking owner of the joint should be put in jail for contributing to the corrupting a minor, something like that. Whatever the fucking charges, I can't think of it. But yeah, bullshit. There's too many people who own bars that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay, really, it's true. Anyhow. Last thing I want to talk about on Tommy's Pub and Grub Review, Tulip Caterers. So I was in there the other day, I was grabbing a sandwich, and I noticed that they had a table with all these pies stacked on it, and they're advertising fresh baked pies. And I overheard one of the deli guys who used to work at Valley telling someone, yeah, the same pies, same thing we used to have at Valley. And I said, yeah, don't waste your money because it ain't fresh baked. And she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, they buy fucking Mrs. Smith's pies, defrost them, put them in a box, and charge you double the price. Go to fucking Walmart. Okay? And that's exactly what they do. Because the guy started laughing. He goes, how do you know that? I went, am I wrong? He goes, no. I said, thank you. Okay? They use the commercial arm of Mrs. Smith called Chef Pierre. Right? So they're buying these fucking pies from a restaurant supply. They probably come par baked. They finish baking them the rest of the way, put them in a box, and sell them for double the price. That's not fresh baked. You're better off making your own pie. You can't make your own pie. Go to a fucking bakery. You can't go to a bakery. Go to Walmart. Buy a fucking frozen Mrs. Smith's pie. All right? Don't waste your money. Tulip Caterers does not do anything fresh baked. All right? They make good sandwiches. I know them a long time, good people. But, they like Valley. They're lying to you. Lying! Can't stand that shit. Anyway, you PSA kids, Thanksgiving is past finally. You may safely commence your Christmasing. Now you can decorate your house, put your tree up, sing Christmas carols to yourself till you fall down and shit your pants. Whatever makes you happy. Anyway, stay COVID-less, kids. No mask, don't ask haters, and kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? That's been your Friday wrap-up, and I'll see you when I see you.